This is the Symposium podcast with E. Wright and Romero.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Symposium podcast. On the other side of the chair, way over there, tired as fuck.
Way over here. What up? E. Wright, back again with another episode of Symposium podcast.
Ooh, some energy.
You just threw me off with the ooh.
Oh, sorry.
Kick it back to my man over there.
You know what it is. Bust down everything, 7 rows gold. We in this bitch. In the middle is a recurring guest. We have not seen him in some time. Can you remind the people who you are, sir?
Micah.
Need a soundboard. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Glad to have you back on the pod.
Good to be back.
It is September 15th, 2022. Boys are here, man. We got some very interesting topics to touch on. But before we do that, to the boys, to the people, welcome to the party. We ain't go. Jesus. So, just call it what you want, tidbit, I don't know. Last time Micah was on here, he was sober. And now...
Not anymore.
Well, he said he wasn't drinking for reasons and respect, but now apparently that has changed. But,
Too late to quit.
okay, sir. Have a little bit of that and
Yep.
shit goes crazy. But
Perfect.
quick check-in. E, my man, how you doing?
I am doing all right, man. Very, very exhausted, but we here, man. You know, sacrifices, but I'm good, man. This has been a long, very long day.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't terrible. It was just busy. Very busy day.
Yeah.
I was telling Micah when we first got here, some shit must have popped off last night, and 2 a.m. woke up to some bunch of cops arresting some chick, and tried to lay back down. Woke up at 3, couldn't fall back to sleep. Went to work out at 6, worked all day, worked out again at 6, and now we're here. So,
Damn.
You doing 2 a days? Goddamn.
man,
Motivated.
Yeah. Hold on.
now I'm here.
I ain't seen you in a minute. School is back. Like you're
School.
back working and everything.
I'm back working. I'm back schooling.
How is it so far?
It's not too bad.
Okay,
That's good.
That's
It's
good.
just exhausting because I forgot how to do it for a little bit, but
You was living life a certain way, and now,
you know, just getting to bed. It's really just getting back in my normal routine. But teaching wise, I'm actually killing that shit. So it's fun.
Really?
You know, it just feels like everybody has to be back. There's no more online.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the building is busier, but you know, the classrooms are bigger, which is a downside. But you know, we're just glad to have the kids back in school. Kids glad to be back in school. So
Good.
starting off pretty smooth, man. And
Good, man. I'm glad to hear that you might be exhausted, but it sounds like things are all right.
yeah. You know, just getting back into the grind, back into the fucking grad school shit too. So that's what I really like. Fuck, you know, getting back into that groove. So
You definitely have to be in a certain mindset for that.
Yeah.
For sure. I can only imagine. All right, bro. Well,
but other than that, I'm breathing, man. I'm breathing.
That's all that matters.
Shit. How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. I'm okay. I've been having some ups and downs, more downs than I expected, but you know,
Yeah.
I'm breathing too. Honestly, I really can't complain. It's just some shit that I did not expect and really threw me off. And so now I'm just like, okay, we move forward.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
Yeah.
It'll be all right. So that's all. Other than that, I'm good. Micah Milling, how are you, sir?
Good, man. Yeah, it's been a wild 6 months or so, but yeah, I'm here. I'm also breathing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also a bit tired.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm here. I'm good.
Good, bro. Good. All right. Should we get into some news? A little bit?
Let's do it, man.
There's not much to tell. First and foremost, we have to acknowledge this. Queen Elizabeth II has passed. She was 96.
Dang.
Yeah, so she was queen for a really long time. Really, really long time. So rest in peace. Not much else I can really say there.
I was about to say that.
Like that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if it was like, I don't know, president or something that we knew, but
Yeah.
it's like it's across the pond. So thoughts and prayers still. Now outside of that, let's talk about what the fuck going on with Elon Musk. Elon Musk has to give up 44B. This comes from CNN. Elon Musk has publicly filed updated counterclaims against Twitter based on whistleblower disclosures. Look, bottom line, here's what happened. Elon Musk said, I'm gonna buy Twitter. Twitter was like, yeah. And then later on he said, I don't wanna do it. And Twitter was like, no, you need to do that.
The fact that you said 44B is casual like that is fucking insane.
Yeah.
I would never touch that in my life. Like, why don't you sniff it? Like, it's just crazy. Like, damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking money.
That's a lot of fucking money to just, man.
That would fill this room with bills, man.
Yeah,
Easy.
easy.
Pallets.
God damn.
I can't imagine.
44 B's.
We talked about this on the pod already, a certain amount of M's I can imagine, but a B in itself, like, that's a lot of, like, what would you do?
I don't know. I really, truly don't even know.
You could do it.
What can I do?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's a dangerous question.
Yeah, what
That's
can I
a
do?
dangerous question. Like, what can I do? Shit, what can't I do? Okay. That's it. That's news to me before we get on any other tangents. But moving on from that, Micah Milling. First of all, I said it already, but again, welcome back, sir.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Now, first thing that I'd like to talk about is your adventures in South Korea.
Yeah, straight up dipped.
Yeah, you did.
I bailed quick.
I don't know if I mentioned this on.
Where were you coming from in the last podcast you did?
Yeah,
I don't even know. I was just here, I think, for a minute.
Oh,
you were he was here,
you
and
were
then
going somewhere.
he said, "Now I remember, because I remember this for sure." You left, and it was like, "Oh, you're going to Texas," and then you dropped the bombs like, "No, I'm going to South Korea."
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, I'm like, this feels like deja vu to me. That's what I'm like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so you just said I'm going there again. Fuck it.
Yeah. So some context.
So he's a man of his word.
So some context. My wife's South Korean, so that's the connection.
Right.
Her family's over there.
Okay.
So this is my 4th or 5th time over there.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a trip. This trip was very different than other trips, but yeah, it was good and bad. There were high moments, low moments. I bought a dog.
Tight.
Yeah.
Wait, don't dogs just like run around out there though too?
They
Like,
do
don't they run
in the
wild?
city, no, but they
Oh,
have an
okay.
island out there
Yeah,
where I don't know what they call it, but they call it like Dog Island. But they have an island where just straight up thousands of dogs,
Yeah.
and you can go in there and just snatch them up, fucker, if you want.
Damn.
Like,
But you just never know.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they have the Korean breed over there, but yeah, they used to also eat dog a long ass time ago. They don't really do that anymore.
I hope not.
You can still find an occasional sketchy place if you want it. But yeah, there's a lot of new laws and rules on that. But yeah, mostly it's just domesticated. People usually keep them as pets. It's like a Gucci bag, man. You see people everywhere just walking around like little dogs.
Wow, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shit, man. I mean, I know that you've been to South Korea before, but I'm kind of curious to know, like, can you tell us what are some differences that you've seen, like some cultural differences?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm just gonna do like a bird's eye view of some things that really stood out to me. Because what was interesting the other day, me and my wife, because she just got back, I was there for about 3 months, and then I had to come back and do some business shit. But she just came back, and we both came in through, I think it was LAX. And we both had the same experience of like, you go from Korea, which I'll talk about in a minute, to LAX. And LAX, man, it's different when you go there in a domestic flight, but when you're coming in from international, you gotta go through customs. And dude, I'm telling you, that customs, have you seen the movie Idiocracy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like,
Do you know what that is?
No, I'm not familiar.
it's a movie about basically a dystopian world in the future.
Yeah.
It's a comedy, but there's some scenes in there where they go in like government buildings, but they're just run down, dirty as fuck, like the lights are flickering.
Mhm.
No joke, man. Like, I was walking down the hallway going to customs in LAX and the lights were fucking flickering. It almost looked they were like gonna be like rats skittering across like the hallway, and like you go through like customs and TSA, and then you get in the airport and there's straight up like homeless people, and it's just dirty as fuck. You got people just kind of standing around, man, just like it's a very different atmosphere.
Mhm.
And it's also kind of like, welcome to America, bitch. Like, and for people that have idolized it, and that's where I want to go with this, is like, in Korea, people idolize the American way of life.
Yeah.
And so to come from this kind of fantasy of what you think America is, and obviously LA, San Francisco are great cities once you get into them, but just coming that initial, just going through customs like that,
Yeah.
it's like, damn. Like
It's a
this
shock.
is like, yeah, it's a shock. It's like a punch to the gut. Like your fantasy dissolves. There's actually it's called Paris syndrome. You guys should look it up. But there's something specifically about Asian travelers, and a lot of happens times in Paris. But it's this mental breakdown that sometimes people from these countries have when they go to countries like New York or Paris, where they get there and it's nothing like what they had thought, and they like literally can't take it. They have like psychosis, they have like a full-on like mental breakdown,
Yeah.
because it's like what they imagine does not line up with reality.
According to this, it's a sense of extreme disappointment exhibited by some individuals, when visiting Paris, who feel that the city was not what they had expected.
Okay. Yeah. I hear that a lot though.
Yeah. So you like watch Ratatouille, you ready?
Oh, love that. Love
Paris is.
that.
When you get there, and like somebody like hands you an actual rat, and you're like, yo, man, this is not what I imagined. You know, Paris is a dirty city, bro.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to riff off though my experience in Korea, or like?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I would say the closest thing I can compare Korea to is Korea is like America, and what I imagine America would be like in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. It's like got this atmosphere of like, you know, like in the early 1900s, a lot of shit that was built then, we're still living in today. Like in St. Paul, Minneapolis, like, and during that time, you were like on the come up, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
shit was being built that's still gonna be in use like 100, 200 years from then. And it's like that there. Like everything's being built. There's a sense of like camaraderie in the air. Like there's this like tangible energy where you kind of look around and you see other people, and it's like everybody's like, yeah, we're in this together. There's this sense of like unity and being like, yeah, we're fucking building this thing together.
Yeah, that's something that I wanted to ask you, because I've learned about that, not just with South Korea, but in other countries. They have a I forget the word, like collectivism
Yes.
mindset, right?
Yeah, 100%.
They're not about one individual. They're about what you said. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and it's a trip going from that to like back here where it's like a million different people all kind of being their own individual.
Yeah.
You know, who the fuck are you? What are your pronouns? Where the fuck are you going in life? And like everybody's like going off in their own direction, right? And in South Korea, there's just this like unity thing that you just don't feel in America. So it's weird.
So are you more for that community piece, or are you like like we are? Like
I think
are like go get it, you know, go get it on your own, or
very individualistic.
I think there's an art to this shit. I think literally like civilizations, like this is the come up, and then you're on top, and then it dissolves into everybody do their own fucking thing. So I think there's like a balance, and I think that finding that balance is key, because I think for sure like it goes way too far in that direction. Like people over there, like we think working 40 hours is a lot here.
Yeah.
They're working like 60, 80 hours a week. Like they're fucking like, and that's an average week. But here's the thing, man, like why I bring the 1960s reference, is there's this element of, okay, so people still go to malls over there. Like, it's an experience. Like, malls over there, they have pools on top of that shit. People still go there on the weekends. Like, when you go to a mall there, it's like an experience. Like, kind of like how, like, we used to go to malls in, like, the 90s. People are still doing that shit over there.
Yeah.
Dude, I was in a mall there, and they literally had a spot on top of the roof. They had a fish tank cafeteria that was just lined with these exotic fish tanks everywhere. You just go in there and get a cup of coffee. They have like waterfalls and shit. Like, there are tons of people in there all buying shit. Like, it's like an event. It's like something you do socially. Where now, like, yeah, we'll go to the mall, but like, it's not like that. You know, it's not like the experience like it was for us back in the 90s and the early 2000s, you know? The other thing is like, they're still pumping gas. You roll up, a motherfucker runs out.
Yeah.
What do you want, Jimmy? And then he fills up your tank, he wipes down your windows, and you drive off. Like, my wife's, her dad, that's what he does. He used to be a business owner, went bankrupt, and now he's working for a gas station, but he's literally one of those dudes. When you roll up your car, he's running out there asking you what kind of gas you want and wiping down your windows.
Going an extra mile.
Yeah, literally going into these malls, man. Like, there are motherfuckers. Their full-time job is waving and bowing at people as you drive into the fucking mall.
And that just made me think right away to back to just tying it back to the community shit.
Yeah.
Like, that trust is instilled.
Yeah.
Now, shit, you didn't trust nobody.
No.
Like, get the fuck away from my car.
Exactly.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
You know? And that's the piece we're missing. That's the piece we're missing, man.
Yeah, it's insane. You feel like you're in a different universe.
It's just a different world.
It is a different world, and people will park their fucking nice ass cars on the fucking sidewalk. They have laws over there where the cops can't, if they damage your car, they have to pay for it. So if you have a nice enough car, you can park that bitch fucking anywhere you want. Like, literally anywhere. You can park it in front of City Hall, up on the curb, on the fucking steps, and no one's gonna touch that shit. But there's also this level of trust. Like, I felt good about like walking around late at night. I always usually do, even in America though. But like, I felt good about like my wife walking around at like 1 p.m. if she wanted to go to like the corner store or something, you know? Right. And that's a different vibe than like in America. You know, I land in LAX and the first thing I'm like is like, I'm gonna get fucking strapped. Like, what the fuck is my gun? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit! Like, where's my safety deposit box?
Damn. Okay. Shit.
Yeah.
All right. That's a big difference. I mean,
massive.
I don't know. It kind of makes me just. Okay, so for your kid, right?
Right.
Knowing that there is a huge difference in terms of how people live, this whole idea of individualism compared to collectivism, which one would you want your kid to experience the most?
100% South Korea.
Really?
Yeah, or any other. There's like, the thing is when you travel and you go to parts of Asia or parts of Europe, you're like, you had this kind of like identity shift where you're like, shit, like, there are 50 countries that have a better lifestyle than America times 10. And America's like all the way down here. You don't realize it until you're there. And that's why I was like, to be honest, one of the reasons why I went to South Korea was I was trying to get the fuck out. Like, I wanted to move out of the country permanently. It didn't work out that way. I'm back, and I'm probably gonna be here for a while, so you're all stuck with me. But I was literally trying to scheme and plot my way to like move out of the country permanently and either stay in South Korea for a number of years and then move to Australia, New Zealand, or just get straight to Australia, New Zealand.
Sorry.
You're good.
I don't want to switch gears too much, but I forgot to add this topic because this is a conversation that you and I have had so many times. And we talked about it a little bit when Kevin, actually we did talk about it when Kevin was here, but living in Minnesota and that sort of experience. So how Kevin described Minnesota in his experience is 100% different, like completely different from what Micah has experienced. Yeah. Like, that man has love for it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, love.
Yeah.
Micah, will you tell E Would you tell E how you feel about Minnesota?
Dude, I fucking hate Minnesota. There's a part of me that wants, like, I don't believe in ghosts, but there's a part of me that kind of wishes that I could be a ghost just so I could haunt Minnesota until it gets wiped off the fucking planet. Like, that's how much I hate it. I've thought about how much, like, I want to just see Minnesota get fucking nuked. Like, off the fucking board. Like, the glaciers stopped too soon. They should have kept on coming down.
That's all I'm gonna say, stupid question, so obviously why you travel so much, right?
Yeah. And I'm pissed at my fucking ancestors for being like, their fucking stupid asses coming over here and be like, yeah, this is good enough. Like, we're not gonna go all the way quite out west. Like, this is the Midwest. We're just gonna hang out here, like in the Midwest. Like, this is our climate. And that's fucking stupid to me. I get pissed, man. If I could have a time machine, I would go back and I would kick my ancestors in the balls. I'd pin them up against the wall and I'd be like, motherfucker, don't you fucking dare. I would literally do that shit, man. That would be my first top priority. It wouldn't be to kill Hitler. It wouldn't be changing the world or anything. I'd go back and I'd fuck up my ancestors.
Is this hate from being in other places, or is it just...
I've always hated you.
This is okay.
Born hatred for Minnesota.
I assume so.
This is born hatred, just a burning desire. And I think one of the reasons why I kept on getting pulled back to Minnesota, and that's a saying that like Minnesotans can never leave, right? Because we always get sucked back in.
Yeah.
I think that in the cosmic array of things that I kept on getting pulled back to Minnesota because I hadn't dealt with my intense anger and hatred for Minnesota. So I actually now feel better. I don't want to haunt Minnesota.
Yeah.
I don't want to, if I die, like, you know.
I don't know. That was like, you seem really.
I mean, there's a part of me, I still hate it, but I've also grown to appreciate it. I'm still happy as fuck to get the fuck out. I'm moving to Colorado in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's wood underneath there, but whatever.
Yeah, you're good.
So I'm still trying to get the fuck out, but at the same time, I'm more at peace with Minnesota than I probably ever have been or ever will. Okay. So this is top of the curve right here with my tolerance for Minnesota.
But that's good. I mean, that's good to leave on that sort of note.
Yeah, 100%. But I've had to. I just realized that the universe wasn't ever going to let me leave unless
you did.
I had to come to peace with it.
Yeah. So that's about it. Just wanted.
Yeah.
And to get that out there.
Fair enough.
I always find it interesting though that you feel that way because, as we know, like I feel differently. There are things that I do not like about this state, but at the same time, in a way, I kind of have a collective mindset with the state. So,
right.
And to hear you say like, "Nah, fuck this place." Well, how does that work? You feel it over in South Korea, yet the place that you were born in and even grew up in, you don't feel that at all.
Yeah. I would say, I don't know how to exactly answer that. I felt home many places, but I've never felt home in Minnesota, and I don't think I ever will. There's always an element of being home. Like, there's certain things, like I love the North Shore, right? Or just like, there's certain parts of Minnesota where I'm like, yeah, I can fuck with this. But it's nothing in comparison to other places. I've grown to appreciate it, but it's very different. I'll say this, I'm not sure if this is exactly what you're asking, but like, when I got back, and there's always been a culture shock when I get back to Minnesota.
Yeah.
But when I got back, and I don't like country music. I don't. I fucking hate country music, okay? But I've been listening to like poor white, sad black, just bluegrass, just fucking country, just fucking music. And I don't like country, but I've been listening to it because, I don't know, there's a part that connects me to where I think things are headed in the U.S. There's just like a vibe in the U.S. that's different right now, and I don't think that people know, especially Minnesotans, what's about to fucking hit us. But
that sounds very ominous, sir.
It is what it is.
Okay.
It just is what it is. But the reason why I hate Minnesota is so much is because, like, if you're on the East Coast or West Coast, you have to deal with weather. I mean, obviously, like, we get cold weather, right? But you have to deal with hurricanes that are trying to kill you, right? You have to deal with, like the heat in California. I'm going off the weather thing too much. But there's also, you have to deal with like diversity more, right? There's more diversity in New York, San Francisco, LA,
Chicago.
Minnesota's a comfort state. That's why we have comfort food. We have a comfortable lifestyle. We have comfortable people, and it's a good place to raise a family. But if you want to challenge yourself, you can do that in Minnesota. I'm not saying that you motherfuckers are at all. Don't take it personally. You can do it, but I'm saying like it's harder as a person that's trying to challenge himself here versus like East Coast or West Coast. This whole strip going down, it's just harder. The people that are in different places, they usually move to New York, LA, San Francisco, Seattle. You know, that's why all the hot bitches are here in the summer. Come winter, fucking nobody leave. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm fucking saying. Either that or they're putting on too many clothes. But I'm just saying, like, you know what the fuck I'm saying, bro. They're fucking out.
Okay.
I'm just saying, bro.
All right.
Rip off that.
Shit. All right. Well, thank you for that answer, sir. That's something to think on. Shit, I don't know what to say after that, honestly.
It's a great perspective, man.
it's something. It is something.
It's a perspective. I wouldn't necessarily say the great one, but it's something. Also, my personal experience in Minnesota, which I've been able to, through years of therapy, recognize that my life here growing up was very different compared to like other people's life here. So I can appreciate and like people like Kevin that love Minnesota or like you. Like you, I really respect you a lot. And just hearing your thoughts on like why you want to stay in Minnesota, I'm like, I understand that and I want that for myself and I'm a little bit jealous of that. And I'm like, yeah, I resonate with that. I like that. I can't feel that in the same way in Minnesota, but I can appreciate that you want to stay here and raise a family and find your own challenges and adventures in Minnesota. And use this as a base to go out from everywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
But it's not my base.
And that's fair, honestly. I respect that.
Yeah.
E, what about you though? Because I know we've had multiple conversations, and it sounds like when your nephew is off to college, like it sounds like you're out.
Changes every day. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Good days, bad days.
Yeah. You know, we'll see where I'm at.
Maybe I'll move. Maybe I'll go across the country.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get a sandwich. Okay.
Yeah, it just depends. You know, it depends on where I'm at in my life, especially mentally. When when he is done,
Time will tell.
I do plan on traveling though. I do want to. I mean, not saying I'm waiting for him to leave so I can travel, but just trying to figure my shit out right now. So, just kind of taking it day by day. But it's not off the table. Like, if I can get out of here, I probably would get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's a commitment.
Yeah. Definitely. So
Starts with a passport.
yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Start.
It's funny because I had this conversation for maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, just this past weekend.
Word?
Yeah. With,
How'd it go? Like, tell me.
I was with Omar and Nate, and I just,
Shout out to those
I
fools.
basically just got belittled for not having a passport for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I need to get a passport.
Yeah, you
It's
do.
been too long. We've been having this conversation for years, so I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm not.
Yeah. We should travel. You get your passport.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll figure it out. We should go some places, man.
So that
Dude, I want to take you to some motherfucking places.
that is my
Dude,
that is
exciting.
my high priority
Yeah.
is to go get my passport.
Nice, man.
So I will keep you guys updated.
I
I'll
mean,
keep you updated when that happens.
we're like 2-3 episodes in now. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
It has to happen. And chances are it will.
It's 100%.
It's gonna happen. All right, cool. Can't wait.
Yeah.
All right, well, switching gears here. Now, Micah, the last time that you were on, you were giving some gems as far as how people are in the market, how to go about it. Can you tell us what the state of the market is in right now?
I can a little bit. I can give you my personal opinion. I don't know if it's the actual state, but I can give you my opinion.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
give us your viewpoint?
Yeah, so I think right now, if you look at like the news cycle, right? Like the news cycle, the media cycle was really hot on Corona. It was really hot on fucking Ukraine for a minute. When number 45, president, when he was in office, like things were really hot about him, right? And the media has kind of run out of things to talk about.
Yeah.
And right now, if you look on YouTube or if you look on just watch fucking whatever news channel, whatever, pick your poison, they're all saying the same thing. Like, we're about to hit a fucking recession, things are about to get dark, they're about to get bad. Fear sells, right? They need the clicks, they need the views.
Yeah, definitely.
So I agree with most of that. I do think that we're going to go into recession. I do think that things are going to get worse. And I don't think that we've seen the half of it. However, at this current moment in time, I'm like, everything's priced in, and what the fuck is so bad right now?
Okay.
Like, I think all the sellers have already sold. I think we're kind of just like coasting along like a bottom here. Like, we had a bad day the other day. The CPI numbers came out, so that's where they track inflation, like how much you're paying for a glass of milk. Everything from that to rent to like, you know, how much whatever it costs you.
Man.
And those numbers came out, I think it was Tuesday, and they were just a nick above what the expectations were. And the market tanked, but it didn't tank that hard. You would have expected it to tank harder.
Yeah.
And they were still shitting green. And I was going, you know, the other thing too, man, going back to like Warren Buffett's days, when Warren Buffett was trading shit, there weren't all these algorithms. It was a whole different ballgame. And now you have algorithms that pretty much control and buy and sell the markets.
Absolutely.
If Apple does well, that means all the fucking semiconductor stocks are gonna go well. And then that's gonna push up all these fucking other tech stocks, and you get these fucking things like they just pop off, and you can see the bots working in the back end. That's why fucking Elon Musk doesn't want to buy Twitter. But what I'm saying is, I think that a lot of the selling has already happened, and I think to have us go much down further right now, like we need another black swan. Like a nuclear bomb would have to go off, something crazy would have to happen in Ukraine. Like we would need something big to happen to really push us down much further. My personal, and I don't usually give like viewpoints like this, but my personal viewpoint right now is that if you looked at the top, like when crypto was all times high, people like 50%, they were running surveys and they're like, where do you think the market's gonna go? And 50% at the all-time high were like, yeah, we think this bitch is gonna keep on going higher, right? Right now, you have 50% saying they think it's gonna keep on going lower. And I think when you get that much of a mass group of people saying any one thing, if you're high or low, I think that the odds are more likely that it's gonna shoot up in the meantime. So I think in a short time, we're gonna see a rally in the stocks of crypto. I think, you know, end of this year, beginning of next year, I think shit's gonna get real bad, real quick. And I think we're gonna have another drop, and I think that's when things get ugly. That's my take on it. And it's not a popular opinion. Everybody thinks that we're gonna keep on going down. But if you look at 2008, man, that shit really caught us off guard. Right now, it's like every fucking boomer in town is gonna be like, have you sold yet? Have you fucking sold yet? It's coming, the recession is coming. And it's like, you know.
Where are you at with that, bro?
Oh, shit. No, bro? Okay, yeah, you keep it on him.
No,
I mean, like, it's like you just said, like, what's your thoughts on the market right now? Not what are you literally at, like, some shit, no.
No, it's fair. Still, I agree with him 100%, because I'm looking at it every day. And even with the investment that I'm really focused on, I shared that with you. Like, there was a moment where it jumped, it was skyrocketed. Like, it was so good. While other stocks were going down, it was going up. And I was like, all right, money. And then it just started to drop, and it went along with the market. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, but it wants to run.
It's okay, yeah.
It wants to run.
So, I don't know. Whenever you see it, and this is something that needs to be touched on as well. Like, you really have to. We've touched on it before, but like you really have to make sure that you're in a good headspace. Because even if you're looking at the market every fucking day and you just see nothing but red, that's gonna mess with you. It's gonna fuck with your head.
So why look at it every day?
You shouldn't. For
but
me,
it's just a thing. It's just
like
because it's still fucking money. It's like. All right, what is he doing today? Did it go up? Did it go down? It sounds very stressful.
But even if you limit it though, like, and I don't think people really do that. You know?
There are
people who can look at something real quick and then they go about their day. And then there are people who just watch it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it went up. Oh, whoa, went down. Oh, okay, went down. Like, it doesn't stop for them. For me, I look at this, I wake up, I do what I need to do. I take a moment to see what's going on in the market, and then I go to work. That's it. I don't look at it the rest of the day. I got other shit to do. Do I want things to change? Like, if I see something that I think is bad, yeah, but it's not the end of the world.
Right.
So, Michael, what's going on with you?
Nothing, man. Just hanging out on your podcast. It's great, bro.
All right, man. Are you still considering investing at all?
Yeah, I am investing.
No.
Are you?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm considering. You did. You were like just talking. To
Yeah,
him.
sorry. That's on me. My bad.
But yeah, I'm still considering for sure. It's on the list.
What's stopping you from like pulling that trigger? Because now is the time to buy.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was saying.
Yeah.
I want to know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I haven't
That's
taken
good.
the time to actually just sit down and not even like, I don't need to know every fucking thing, but I just need to know, like, all right, if give me somewhere to start. You know, like, all right, I should start here. This might be a good idea, but maybe, you know, it's still at risk. You got to be ready to take that risk. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause I was never into gambling.
Yeah.
Because that's how I see
You
like,
see it,
yeah, but not per se. You know what I mean? But so it's just kind of I just gotta get off the fucking porch. You know what I mean? I'm just standing right there like Stu Kid, but I just want to jump off. You know?
You know what? Here's my opinion.
Because I'm looking and seeing everybody else like.
Exactly, yeah.
And then I'm gonna look too long and it's gonna be too fucking late, you know?
Yeah. I can't necessarily say regardless of what's going on in the market, but whatever chunk of change that you get, like from your check and stuff, just put just a portion of like $20.
Yeah.
Just take that and put it in. Cause we spend money on bullshit all the time. So what's $20 compared to like what you normally spend on nonsense?
Yeah, no, literally all the time. And that's why, you know, it's called investing for a reason, right? I can go out this weekend and put that money on, you know what I mean? Just could have put it aside there and been more like, now it's gone, you know, that's how I think, like, so it's not really like that. It's just, I want to know where, you know, I mean, I would just want to know, all right, just give me because if somebody fucking asks me, oh, you put your money in there, why? Shit, I don't fucking know because my friend told me to.
Yeah.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
No, it's fair.
So, I just want to gain a little more knowledge. Like I've been doing a little reading and like, you know, just asking a lot of questions and.
My only counter to that would be, I have two thoughts on it. Number one, I think if you put $20 into it, you have skin in the game, and then you have more motivation to learn.
That's
very true. It's gonna help you want to learn more.
Yeah.
You might not. You might kind of be on the fence right now, being like, I don't feel like I have enough information to invest.
Right.
But putting that $20 in, all of a sudden now you got skin in the game.
Yeah.
And now you want to know what the fuck you just invested in.
That's very true.
And now you have a reason to like keep an eye on it. Sometimes I'll put money in something, even if I don't know anything about it, just because I want to learn.
Yeah.
I want to watch it. I want to like keep my eye on it, and I want to give a fuck.
Yeah.
And if I don't have money in it,
why would I give a fuck?
I don't give a fuck.
You're right. That's very true.
So that's one take on it. The second take is don't undercut yourself. You're smarter than a lot of motherfuckers.
Yeah, that too.
And I think that smart people sometimes, like yourself, you sometimes wait too long because you want to learn, right? You have all the good intentions.
Right.
I was in Charlotte recently, and I was showing someone my business, and this is very personal to me, but I was showing somebody my business, and it was hard because I was showing all the nitty gritty details, all the shit that's fucked up about my business, that I knew was fucked up about my business. And I was showing that all to this person, and it was hard showing that person because like I knew it was fucked up, but I've never opened up and shown it to someone that knows more than I do, right?
Yeah.
And
okay.
But the thing is, and this person was like, how the fuck are you in business right now? Like straight up. Like they did it in the nicest ways possible. Like I trust this person completely and it was like easy for me to share, but it was like, they were like, how the fuck are you doing this? Because they are very smart and they think and like analyze things as well, right?
Yeah.
But I told this person, I was like, look, when I used to work for this company, I used to do sales for like these Amazon guys that were on Amazon, right? And they were selling products on Amazon. I used to call up and talk to these motherfuckers all day long. And I talked to some stupid motherfuckers that were starting a business. It was the guys that were smart, that would talk themselves out of it, that wouldn't take action, that would analyze all the cons, all the things that could go wrong. The stupid motherfuckers didn't give a fuck. They were like, of course everybody wants my garlic press. Or my fucking like whatever. They didn't even think about it. But maybe the world didn't want their shit, right? But the thing is they were so fucking dumb, all they had was action. And they just took the fucking action, and 9 out of 10 times, man, they were making more money because they just put that shot. You miss 100 of the shots you don't take.
Shoot.
Right? Like, who wins wars? The people that fired the most fucking bullets.
Right.
You know? And that's the thing is, like, I learned that really early on, just like, you know, you don't have to know everything. You don't have to have it all together. I was like, if these motherfuckers are running a business, then I can too. And I got that kind of boosted confidence because I was like, there's no way. I mean, the smart people will be like, which color should I label my product? And how should I like market it? And all this shit. The other motherfuckers were just like, fuck it, I'm going. They were just like YOLOing it, you know? But I would say do that on a smaller scale with just money, throw it in the market, pick some things that you're interested in, and use it as leverage for yourself to learn.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, nice words, sir. Very
Sometimes.
well said. Yeah, there's not really much that I could even say there. I have mentioned this before, but just how you look at gambling, it's calculated risk. Just how you want to know more and everything, just getting your feet wet. You can learn a million things, and it's good to have that information. But the more that you know, or the more that you learn, I'd say the more confident you feel, I guess.
And you know what was very, very funny about this whole thing is I learn better by doing.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm talking about I want to read some shit. I hate reading, first of all. So like for me to not just like, all right, well, okay, now I'll figure out this. Like I love more like, all right, self-taught shit or like that's just kind of been a lot. So you know, no, I really like that. That was well put. I like that. Cause how would I know?
Who's the dude? Tim, the real estate agent.
Oh yeah, Tim.
There's this guy that I met with once talking about real estate, and one of the things that he said to me, I'll never forget this, but he was talking about how whether it's real estate or whatever, when you're learning about something, you need to be taking action. And it's like, no matter what happens, you just have to keep going. And you're gonna fail. You have to accept that.
100%.
And the words that he said, he's like, you have to learn to fail forward.
Okay.
And I was like, all right. I've never heard anyone say something like that before. It was just like, you keep, even if you fail, you just keep going, you go forward. So.
2 other thoughts I have really briefly. First thought is everything you do is a gamble. Me getting my minivan that I just bought and drove over here. That's a gamble. Like it's a gamble that you guys are gonna show up to be here. It's a gamble that I'm not gonna get hit on the fucking way over here. It's a gamble that I'm not gonna get fucking pulled over. When you go to pour yourself a fucking, glass of milk, you're taking a gamble. You're taking a gamble on the company that you trust who they are, that they took the cow, they didn't add in extra shit. You're taking a gamble that's not expired, that the date's right. Everything in life, every moment from when you wake up, and to say, hey, I'm not gonna gamble because I don't want to gamble, that's a gamble. That's a bet that's not going to pan out. And that's not necessarily a bad bet. Sometimes that's a good bet to have. But if you look at the data, you look at the facts, the other thing is, like, you're very smart, right? But the other thing you got to consider is that, like, motherfuckers, no matter how high you get, and this is my thing that bothers me about conspiracy theorists, is that conspiracy theorists think that there's motherfuckers out there that have their shit together. I've gone up the chain, and nobody that I've met ever in my 33 years of existence understands or has it all together or understands what the fuck they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, truly.
Yeah.
I've heard, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I've heard that before. Like, there are people who've said that nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody.
Fucking born on a spinning rock in your fucking diaper, man.
Yeah.
And you go from there.
Yeah. I like it.
All right. That's fair. That's a lot of information, especially just coming off of the market. Before we switch gears, does anybody have any other questions or thoughts on this topic at all?
I mean, I'm good. That was
Moving on.
That was great.
So this is a little more serious. This is a topic that's been on my mind for God knows how long. And with what my man E was telling me earlier, or what he touched on, not on the pod, but off it, I was like, oh, that's very, very important. First and foremost, it is, actually, I shouldn't even say this. E, you tell him.
Oh,
yeah.
So the month of September is Suicide Prevention Month, and so we just definitely want to acknowledge that. I mean, we can talk a little briefly, but we'll touch on it more. We'll touch on it more, like in more in depth another time. But yeah, just kind of putting that awareness out there. We all go through something, man. So that's just you never know who's going through something.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of being that buffer, and like shit happens, but you just people gotta know that there's always a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, sir. Even though I kind of made you do it, but still appreciate it. So the reason that I bring that up is I've been thinking about this for the longest time, and this kind of goes along with the conversation that we had from the last pod. I was telling you about that TikTok I saw, that conversation. To fill you in, there was this young man who was very, very one-sided in terms of just talking about masculinity, right? And I always ask this question, but really it's been on my mind. I'm like, what does it mean to be a man? And specifically, what does it mean to be a man in America? Because you have a lot of people who have opinions and thoughts and stuff like that, but I don't know, I feel like it kind of gets to a point where, I mean, anyone really gets pushed, but for men, a lot of people do keep a lot of shit inside. Yeah. And
yeah, I think it's changing a lot though nowadays. But yeah, like that was especially us growing up. That's all we knew. But today it's hard to say because it's not like that. Like especially for me being in the field. Well, I'm around young men now. I'm not but that's where it starts. That's where they learn. They learning it from us. What I mean? But they're also learning now is to not give a fuck about how people gonna look at you. So that's why we dealing with everything we're dealing with. You know what I mean? That's where the individualism comes from. You know what I mean? Because now it's like, nah, fuck what they think. Be your own person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or be whoever you want to be.
In your experience working with the Gen Z kids, like, are you seeing that more and more? Like these young guys, like, are you seeing them express themselves and their emotions more, or like, how are you?
I see them. I see it all, man. I see them. A lot of them doing that, but then I starting to it's weird. Like if I'm looking in the lunchroom, just pretend I'm in a lunchroom, and you got this crowd, and it's just different, but it's like you do have the young men that do express themselves and are more outspoken about things and more vocal but then you have those that still want to do the whole tough guy stuff and you know what I mean in that role, but then what the thing I love about my job is I'm the buffer between that.
Yeah.
I've been on the side where it's like, oh yeah, you know, like just now I'm more open about how I feel about shit. But then I've also been on the side when I was younger about, man, fuck that. I'm not telling you nothing. Don't talk. So I can break that barrier between that. So when they try to give me the bullshit, I just break right through it because the youth, like Gen Z and the youth, they can sense bullshit a mile away.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I love about them.
So I try to be as real as I can be. Yeah. And that's why I think I thrive.
That's their currency.
Yeah.
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 And
so,
you're the buffer in that you have life experience beyond their years.
Yeah.
So you know what happens after.
Yeah.
And you also can relate to where they're at.
Yeah. So it's just funny because it's just literally like a mix, man. So yeah, I see it all. I see the side where people are open to express themselves. I see the side where young men don't know how to express themselves.
Yeah.
And they might be doing something one way, thinking that's how they should be expressing themselves, and it could be completely.
But it only takes a few motherfuckers sharing their feelings for other guys to learn from that quickly and be like, oh, he did that and he didn't get ridiculed, and like, you know, people took him seriously.
Yeah.
And maybe I can do that too. It plants that seed, whereas 10, 15 years ago, the number of guys expressing and opening them up was much smaller, you know, than it is now. And it takes a movement. If you guys do it, it opens the door for everyone else.
Yeah, it's just because they do it, they gotta see you. If you get that one, if you get that one, that's why I go for the leader. I go for the leader.
The pack.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
the
pack
head of the
mentality.
pack. Yeah, it's because
Head of the pack.
Yeah, as a male, we all this is a pack mentality.
It
I go
is.
for the leader of the pack, and I'm like, all right, if I can get him to see one this way, they just gonna follow.
This is old man talk right here.
No.
Yeah, this is real shit.
And then they just gonna follow, bro. And then it's like, all right. So then when I get them to thinking about it, now I'm like, all right. So now let me talk to you.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a follower, but how do you feel?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's interesting you bring up the pack mentality because I was having a conversation with some girls about this the other day. And I realized that I don't think a lot of girls understand how much we do run in a pack and how much that influences us, even from just walking down the fucking street.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like there's a lot of body language and subtle things that happen between us as guys that nobody else is aware of.
Yeah.
But that we know about. Right. As men.
Yeah.
We
it's
know.
Like unwritten. It's, you know.
Yeah, it's unwritten rules, but we all have them. We all know it. And I was so surprised that like these people had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. And I was like, that's fair. But yet it exists.
Yeah, absolutely.
You bringing up that pack mentality just made that brought it top of mind.
Yeah.
But it's so true, man. It really does. And that's smart of you to you know, go after the pack leader because you're right.
Right.
When we are men that live in packs,
Yeah.
that's just how we're wired.
Yeah.
And if you can hit the pack leader, at least a couple of them, man,
Just
it trickles down. It trickles down.
And it's like, I'm not trying to convince you to, like, I'm not trying to make you change. I'm just trying to convince you to see something different. Like, look at it from this point of view. You know what I mean? Because if we always from here, but if you look from the other side, it could be a completely different picture. You know what I mean?
Me in Minnesota, dude.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, so it's kind of like that, you know. So as far as like what it is to be a man, it's like shit. I couldn't even answer that question now because
Don't
know. It's different, and I think it's kind of a good problem. You know what I mean? Not even a problem. I'm not even trying to call it a problem, but it's just like, all right, so
it's real.
It's real. It's not
authentic. It's real.
You don't have to just be
one or the other.
Yeah, like I don't have to go work in a fucking construction or do that. Like I can sit on this computer and make way more money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm less of a man because I'm not getting my hands dirty.
Or you can be on the OnlyFans or be a stripper in the metaverse, man.
Right.
Wide open opportunity.
Wide open.
Very specific.
For real,
looking
man.
at
It's like what are you doing to? And when I think of like what it is to be a man, it's like what are you doing to be a better person to your community? You know,
that's
what I mean?
the question.
Like how are you helping your community? Are you tearing it down?
Or you building it up?
Are you building it up? Are you letting other people tear it down? Because then that's not a man. You sitting here watching. You watching somebody fuck your shit up.
Here's my question for you. Do men tackle that differently than women or others?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Or would you say it's exactly the same between how men tackle building up their community versus women or others of whatever you say pronouns?
Oh, I don't know, cause I think women probably do it a little better.
Yeah.
I think because
I like that you said, not to cut you off, but I like that you said better and not different.
No, it's
Because
not different. Yeah.
Because I feel like that's exactly what it is.
Right. I think just a little better. I feel like we can be stuck in our ways sometimes, but
For sure.
But women, they like, they got plans, plan A, plan B, like, you know what I mean? But not saying that we don't. I think they just do it a little better.
They're better.
I think they just do it a little better at building their community. But just imagine if we all build it,
in our own way.
and not try and tear it down. Because it's still, don't get me wrong, there's some shitty people out there, you know what I mean? But
That's true.
for the most part, man, it's
most
just,
people are good people.
Very, very good responses, gentlemen. Here's a question that I have for you guys. So we know that though things are changing, especially when it comes to an old mindset for be it men or young men. I think about, I'll even say it, like for me, and I've said it on the podcast before, for me, I wasn't in an environment where it was like, oh, you gotta be tough, you gotta do this, you gotta do X, Y, and Z. I actually had the opportunity to just express myself. However, for me, I had to learn different things. Like, I had to learn, you can't just say whatever or just express whatever at any time of any day.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to tend to your emotions.
Right.
You have to learn how to console yourself. And it's not like, you gotta be hard as fuck, you gotta do this and that. It's like, no, you can't let this shit run you. You can't run wild with your emotions. You have to learn how to channel that and use it. Just like you talk about building up your community, it's like, okay, if you have the energy to vent, you have the energy to put that somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you this: how did you learn to be a man?
Ooh, fuck, that's a question. It's a combination of different things. I could even say you, dude. Like you and I, how many conversations have we had just about life? Like, and man, I'm going through it. Fuck, me too. Like, those sort of things. Just having the opportunity to express oneself, but not go overboard. Because there have been conversations like that as well, where I've shared things and I've gone on, and I could see the eyes getting glazed over. Like, okay, I think I've gone too far.
You just
like
mean
that.
in general?
Yeah. And that's something that we've touched on as well. Like, you have to, when it comes to those sort of things, you can't just emotional dump on people.
Yeah, we
right?
talked about that.
Yeah. You have to be in a safe space. Both parties have to be in a safe space, and they have to be in a certain mindset. And I had to learn that myself. Like, I couldn't just express whatever to anyone at any time of the day. I also had to realize for myself that I couldn't just take on everyone else's emotions. Because I am empathetic as fuck, and somebody says something to me, I'm just crying. So, but yeah, you, Micah, a couple mentors that I've had.
And see, and that's great, because I asked that because I didn't have my father in my life, you know what I mean? So teach me how to be a man. But over time, I had uncles that, cousins, older cousins, like, that taught me, guided me to where I needed. But then when I got on my own, I'll go to college, move to Minnesota. By yourself, 6 hours away from your family, all your family. It's like, damn, I don't know what the fuck to do. But then I meet people that's like, all right, You know what I mean? Like, and we building our community together.
Mm-hmm.
We become men together, and then it's different. So then I'm meeting their parents. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll take a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll take a little bit of that from him. And then it's like, then they fathers now. So now I'm like, okay, that's the type of father I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's the type of father I want to be around. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
I feel that.
yeah, it's just, man, it's just that community. It keeps coming back to that community. You know what I mean? For me at least, in my mindset.
I think it's like that for everyone, and if it's not, it should be. You hear that saying all the time. It's almost like cliche to this point. No man is an island.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's true. Nobody should be alone. Like, you're not gonna figure shit out on your own. There's someone that you're gonna look to. There's someone you need to talk to.
Yeah.
Because there's some shit that you could be going through and you cannot comprehend it.
Right.
So, at the same time, that does make me wonder. It's like, all right, no man is an island. I understand, but there are times where you are alone.
Right.
What then?
Shit. I mean, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So I know I was just gonna say, like, because that's a conversation that we've been having for the longest time. It's like check in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Check in with your people, check on them, look, see what's going on with them. But you still have those times, you still have those moments where it's like, I'm alone.
And see, for me, I like being alone sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, like I need to be alone sometimes. You know, but the thing that you gotta remember is like, all right, motherfucker, you do got people around you. Don't act like people don't support you. You know what I mean? Don't push nobody away. Just have your time, but go check in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you for a little bit. No, shit. Whether it's 6 months, you know what I mean? But just know I can pick up this phone, all right, and check in, or damn, I'm going through this. It's people there.
Yeah.
There's people there. Just never forget that. You know what I mean? Because I mean, we all are alone at some point, but you know what I mean. But then that's when you gotta get out your head and like, all right, let me breathe, take a step back. You know what I mean?
You said a lot of gems, but the last part, that's especially true, even for me. Like, get out your head.
Yeah.
Like, that shit, all the time, like, constantly, I'm just in there. And I'm like, okay, I need to be doing something else. So, well said, sir.
I resonate with that a lot. I mean, I was in South Korea, first 2 months, I was going through some dark shit.
Yeah.
By myself. I wanted that though. I wanted to be alone. I wanted to be out of Minnesota. I wanted to be isolated. I wanted to be around motherfuckers that didn't speak my language.
Yeah.
I wanted all of that. At the same time, I was in my head a lot and it affected me on a lot of different levels.
Mm-hmm.
It built up and affected me on a financial level, emotionally, mental.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I wanted it and I was getting my time, I started reaching out. Like, we started talking on the phone. I started to meet up. We started talking almost weekly. And that got me through, Like, that got me through. I'm dead serious on that, And, but just reaching out and knowing and having that balance, of how much do you isolate, how much do you have your alone time, how much do you stay in your head versus how much do you, start to reach out. Even if it doesn't always feel good, because no one wants to admit that they're not doing well,
Yeah.
But having someone you trust to open up a little bit and just get out of your head and get some different perspectives. And some of the conversations we had weren't even about what I was exactly going through, but they were topics of interest or just things that get me going, and I would carry that through the rest of my day. Just having that energy from that conversation would propel me to have other conversations or to carry that energy with me as I kept on going through my shit. And and I think you just nailed it, just getting out of your head and knowing when to do that is huge.
Yeah.
It's a big one. Wise words, sir. Wise words. This is some heavy shit. Damn.
I think that's
it.
a great way to close it out, though. You know what I mean?
I'd say so.
You don't talk about it enough.
Last call.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to start this.
I got you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm just everything stood out to me in this conversation. It just kept going back to community. It kept going back to, just kind of getting out your head, accepting things. But what I really love is when Micah said, "Life's a gamble."
Yeah.
And I truly believe that. Like, no matter what we do, it's always a risk of something else not going well or something else. Or shit, going well. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
we always look at the negatives, but sometimes when you roll that dice, it's sevens.
Yeah, so that's what I really resonated with. Is just that, don't be a bitch, man. Like, someone's trying to,
I feel like everything you just said.
I didn't want to watch it when I was, but you know what I mean.
Look, I got you. I'm making the connection.
Do it, man.
I'm making the connection.
Try it. Because if you don't fail, if you don't try, you'll never fail.
Yeah.
If you never fail, you'll never learn.
And being a bitch is not talking about your emotions. It's talking about your feelings.
Yes, very true. Very true.
Well said. Okay, for me, the last call is to piggyback off of what you're saying, E. I feel like that was summarized with what you said, like, get out of your head.
Yeah.
Like, that's just basically it. Talking about taking chances and risk and all that stuff. How can you do that if you're constantly in your own head? Just thinking about that. So, I don't know, that's just the way that I see it. It's like, you're getting in your own way, so get out your head.
Exactly.
What about you, Micah? What do you got?
I'm just gonna, what stood out to me was just when you said don't be a bitch. But no, gender roles aside, I think what you meant by that was like, just do the hard thing.
Yeah.
Do the difficult thing. Take the difficult path.
Don't
Make
be
the
scared.
difficult. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everything we talked about, like you were saying, like whether it's in the markets, getting involved in investing, making a move or not making a move, whatever is a hard decision in life, face that thing. Head on. Doesn't matter your gender, like who you are, but they're talking about like as being men and stuff, just face your problems.
Yeah.
Head on.
I like that.
Okay. That's it.
All right, man.
E, bring us home, please.
All right. Before I bring her home, though, I just want to point out that second win that came across me was brought to you by Liquid Death. So please sponsor us. All right. No, I'm fucking around. But there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, another amazing, this was really good. Amazing episode of the Symposium podcast. I'm E. Wright.
Rose Gold.
Micah Miller.
And we want to thank you, Micah, for blessing us.
Thank you for having me, man, before I leave.
This was a pleasant surprise.
I was looking forward to this all
I was dead. All right, man.
All right. Episode 77?
No.
78. That's right. Episode 78. Thank y'all for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Till next time, we out.